Thank you, Leanne. It's always a pleasure to be talking at this important Standard Bank event. And thank you for facilitating the session so well this year in particular. What I want to talk about is, the reaffirmation and commitment on our part as CCBSA for transformation and women empowerment, which is very critical for the total transformation in South Africa. Let me start by articulating what I call the business case for driving transformation overall and women empowerment. It's common cause that South Africa is a country that comes from a lot of division, a lot of separation. And the only way we can go forward as a country or as a company, it's for us to make sure that we take everybody along with us on the journey. I was reading a phrase earlier that said, I cannot be free unless everybody is free. I thought it was quite a telling phrase. We cannot enjoy the success of CCBSA unless all of the people of South Africa are reflected in that success. When we set up the business in 2016, we were very clear that we are not just a resident and tax-paying organization in South Africa, but we wanted to reflect our South Africanness with its rich diversity. In other words, we want Black people to feel that they are part of this organization and they own this organization. We want women who have generally been marginalized for many years to feel that they are not just purchasers of our product, but they are quite important stakeholders, not just as members of staff, but also in the value chain of the business. And you can look at people with disabilities and other form of different criteria. All of those people are South Africans, and we need to include them in creating a shared value for CCBSA. I often say to people, I'm married to one wife, and I've got 2 daughters and a granddaughter. I don't want any of them not to reach their full potential just because they've been discriminated for the fact that they are women. I don't want that to happen to anybody. So we, as CCBSA, if we do not include our women folks and all other members of society as representative of our organizations, it means that we will be discriminating, and most importantly, we will not be harnessing the full talent of South Africa to make sure that we can be competitive. So for me, it is not just a nice to have because the legislation, BEE, and all of these things says we must do it. We do it because it's a business imperative. Women are as equally talented as their men folks, and therefore we need to include them. Blacks are equally talented as their white counterparts. We just need to look further, give them opportunities, and give them reason that we believe in them. That's what we've got to do. So for me, the Benin platform, it's a real business imperative. Secondly, I want to talk a little bit about the inclusion of women. For us, it's not an event. It's not a flavor of the month. It's not what we do because it's fashionable now. We do it understanding quite well that it should be the culture of how we do things, the culture of inclusivity. That's how we should do things. You know, when we started the business in 2016, and those people that work in the BBBEE space understand the magnitude. In 2016, when we set up the business, we were non-compliant. In 2021, we achieved our level 1 contribution BEE status in FMCG in manufacturing. Today, we've got manufacturing facilities run by women, black women, white women, black men, white men. In fact, I'm quite convinced that at our leadership level, by the end of this year, we would have achieved our vision of not only achieving the level 1 BEE, which we have achieved, but making sure that we've got 50-50 representation from the lowest leadership to the most senior leadership level. I am very excited because it is about being deliberate in our actions. It's about making sure that we go out and recruit talented people outside, those that are in our industry or that understand our industry, even people outside our industry that come with a different perspective to help us move the organization forward. It means that we must develop our internal timber, the people inside the organization. We must spend a disproportionate amount of time making sure that we identify those talented people, particularly from women folks, black people, people with disability, that we focus our energies on making sure that we give them a leg up so that they are able to contribute and perform to their full potential. Because their full potential, it's not only their success, it's the success of CCBSA and also the success of South Africa. So for us, this is not just, like I said, the flavor of the month, but it's a long-term strategy that we are committed to execute and make sure that we reflect the diversity of South Africa and we create an inclusive society. Like I said, it's not only about our employees, and it's not only about at lower level or at senior level, it's across the whole business. Today, 15% of the business is owned by the employees, and by far the majority are black, with a strong emphasis on women in particular. So I think these forums like we're having today give us an encouragement to push forward despite the difficulties, despite the challenges. It gives us an encouragement to show that there is success that can be attained. And for me, the greatest success is these people that we've believed in, that we've given opportunities to, are rewarding us by performing at excellent levels among their peers. So I'm very, very excited, and I'm sure that we will continue to deliver and to perform by making sure that we reflect that South Africa in its totality can succeed when it works together in unity. I'm quite convinced that it's the only way that we as a company can succeed and we as a country can succeed. Thank you very much.